Hmm. Greetings, infinite blessings, and welcome to another moment of now, and another installment, another connection, another interaction from my heart to yours. Rose, how are you, beautiful brother? Hello, hello. What's good? What is happening? What is being experienced at present in this beautiful, beautiful game that we call life? What's happening? What is good? As the more that we can relate to each other, the more that we're able to actually share and reflect. It's beautiful. It's all about information and being able to understand another person's perspective. If anybody has not yet watched it, then please go over to YouTube and watch the last two main episodes of Together We Rise, the Saturday installments. Big revelations. At present, I am taking time for me. The last 3 days, it's just been me. It's just as though it's a holiday. Getting myself a few new bits of equipment, a nice new computer chair that has legs that pop up so that I can sit. Exactly, creating more abundance in all ways. More abundance in time being a major element for myself at present. Been lots of legality things taking place that have all come to completion, and I'm ready to fully focus upon that which I'm here to create, let's say. There's my brother. Hello. And it's taking time to just be, to come back into the self, to sit in nature, remind ourselves that we are that ourselves, natural beings. We're not technological beings. We spend far too much time in front of these things, screens. Yeah. I'm speaking to you now because of technology. It is a beautiful, beautiful tool that we are able to use. But if technology begins to use us, then it's the same with anything else. It's no longer beneficial. If you wake up and the first thing you have to do is to check your X, Y, or Z to see if you've been liked in some way, shape, or form, I don't need to say anything else there. That's just a bit of information to deliver. It's for you to take or to leave. As with everything that we experience, it's all perspective. What I see as good or bad, somebody else may not even notice or may view the complete reverse. If there is any particular topic of conversation anybody would like me to cover, as we're streaming live on Instagram and Facebook, I will read out the questions so that anybody listening can hear the answer as well as the question related. That's beautiful, beautiful. Instagram is probably my preferred medium of connection. It looks nice. It's very easy to connect and to relate to each other on Instagram. Facebook is far more diverse and in depth. It's better for sharing a multitude of information on. And as I say, if you have not yet watched the last couple of episodes of Together We Rise, the last one being spirituality, what it is from a start point understanding right through to the very depth of understanding. Spirituality A to Z, if you like. If you watch one video on your spiritual awakening journey, make it that one. Shared it today on Facebook and on Instagram, the snippet from it. And the one prior to it was about my viewpoint, my personal experience of old, of having been what I would now classify, to label so we understand, racist. And it's about racism and why racism exists Racism exists the same as any form of ism, any form of repression or separation, because of the ego's non-understanding of something. If the ego doesn't understand something, it condemns it, because it's easier and far more beneficial for the mighty ego that needs to stay right to condemn something which it does not understand. Instead of feeling as though you don't understand it and then feeling insuperior, you just condemn it, and if necessary, destroy it. Everyone, and I can say this because I know this to be true through my own experiences, everyone does the best they can do with the information they have at their disposal. I love this chair. So, if you only ever teach somebody the alphabet going up to L, they're not going to be able to actually deliver most words within the English language, because it requires all the letters in the alphabet. Again, if you only teach somebody to count up to 50, they're not going to be able to understand anything past this. If you said to them, oh, look, there's the number 60, they would instantly tell you, no, that's not 60, because they don't understand it. If they get to a point where they have come to full conclusion, a personal conclusion of what life is, they'd condemn it. They'd say, no, you're wrong, you're stupid, what are you doing talking about 60? That doesn't even exist, that's not even a number. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they're right within their personal perception, due to their lenses of perception, their perspective of reality, and everything they've experienced up to that point. I was raised to be told that if somebody is different to you, then they're wrong, and that dependent on the colour of somebody's skin, that they are better or worse than somebody of an alternative colour of skin. This is narrow-minded, to say the least. Hello, Michael. How are you, brother? And only through expanding our awareness and allowing for ourselves to be wrong, going through the ego death, where the ego then surrenders itself to whatever is to be experienced going forwards, do we have any opportunity to evolve and to grow within the self. Recorded a beautiful meditation today, and didn't do a lot else. Went to the gym, had some time, sat in the sun, recorded a meditation, and then spent the last 6 hours running around with my beautiful, beautiful children. And now I feel very, very sleepy and relaxed, because I'm content. Life's good. There's a balance between being here to create a world, a complete world. Between us, we are creating the world of tomorrow that we hold within our minds. That vision that we hold, we are creating, co-creating. And as most of the information that I have been delivering recently, specifically the lives and the podcasts, have all been about focus of attention. I recorded a video yesterday. I love to create. This is me. This is my favourite thing to do, is to create. It was all about David Icke and his prediction of a global pandemic that is released to instill fear, to make people more easy to control and guide, so that they can then infuse technology and tracking things within them, so that people can, from the moment they're born to the moment they die, be monitored in everything they do. Hello, my king. I'm doing a live on Facebook and Instagram, so having you come on Instagram means that it's not going to make much sense for people watching on Facebook. I'll end it, and then I'll jump on a live with you in a bit if you're still here. It's nice to see you, brother. I hope you're well. basically, it's all about what we focus upon. It's our intention to create. If you focus on something that is less than beneficial, if you focus on something you do not wish to experience, then that is what will be created. Focus on that which you wish to experience and bring that into material through the energetic. You're a flashlight. When we bring our flashlights together, each one of us focusing on that same vision, it is truly, truly magical. Truly magical. The world that we are co-creating now is beautiful. And for anybody listening, whenever and wherever you are, it is perfect. Please remember this. There's so much focus at the moment on the people who are asleep and the 17. I went to the shop earlier and it was 7117, I think. As I laughed. 17. So, please know that it's perfect. Know that everything they do is for us. It's helping us. It's helping us to create a world that is... Oh, Zach, my brother, how are you? Long time, my friend. Where have you been? What's been going on? Let's catch up. It's good to see you, my man. Wasn't sure where you were, what was going on. I know it's all good. I know. Yes. Past, present and future all happening right this moment. And yes, I understand. There's a lot of, again, thank you. Michael saying he does not listen to David Icke, Charlie Ward or Simon Parkes because there's not much necessity to focus upon that again, which we do not wish to experience. You focus on the fact that there are negative entities, that there is repressive people and organizations around the world doing the best they can to divide and conquer us, then you lower yourself vibrationally by watching that, and then you become lowered in vibration and part of that which you wish to change yourself. Oh, it's useless, it's worthless. Google runs the world and we're all going to be forcefully vaccinated and everything will be delivered by drones. Everyone will live in VR with chips in their heads. What's the fucking point? What fucking good is anyone like that? What good are you to anybody in that vibration, in that frequency, in that mindset? None. So, it is there. Yes, there are elements of darkness all around. Nice one, Zach. So, again, accept it and focus your attention, your lights of creativity back on that which you wish to experience. Change the channel. If you've been watching channel 2 for far too long, change it to channel 3 or channel 4, whatever fucking channel you want, because it's all up here. Whatever you can perceive, whatever you can imagine, bringing it to an image in the mind to then be able to create it in the physical. If you focus always upon that which is negative, that which is victimizing, poor me, this, that and the other, then you will only ever experience that. I guarantee you. I lived it for years. I lived as a poor me for a very long time. Yes. And now, as I say, it's been an interesting start to this year, and there has been quite a long period of time that I have been in the darkness through the choice, knowing that there were certain things that I could only find there. So as I am here to continue to expand my awareness, my consciousness, and assist in the evolution and expansion of the consciousness of humanity to evolve mind, body, and soul, that's why I do what I do. I go into the dark so I can discover the treasures hidden there, and then leave clues or guide people towards certain destinations that they require or choose or ask to receive. I've been focused solely upon that element of work, as well as the creation of the website, the portal, the online connective stream, let's say. It's a place to come together, a community, an online community platform, a bit like Facebook, but without any form of negativity and repression, where we're completely free to share whatever it is we wish to share. Hey, beautiful. I hope you're well. Focus on the positivity and grow it. Just like the mighty sun. It's the easiest, most beautiful image. The one that I was showing it. In the garden of the mind, it's important what we plant, as we will reap that which we sow. Yeah? Plant seeds of positivity and grow them. Yet within the winds of life, there will always be weeds blown into the garden. If you focus on that weed with your light of attention, then you will grow that weed. Focus on the flowers, you grow the flowers. There's a very fine balance between removing an element of negativity and focusing upon the positivity and leaving the negativity out of sight, out of mind. Unless you remove the weed right from the very root, which is what I do in sessions with people, unless you remove it right from the very root, you actually undermine yourself. And with the law of three, if you were to try to do something once and you just took the weed out from the stem and it grows back, and you think, well, I thought I'd removed that weed, I thought I'd dealt with that issue, I'll try again. And you do it again, and you do it a third time and it grows back. You then think, well, it's pointless, I'm powerless, the weed's always going to be there. But it is now, because you've created it so. Only by understanding where it originated from, going back prior to that moment, and actually taking everything that is required from the event, going into the darkness, discovering all the information that is found there, and integrating that back into the self, then completing the self, bringing yourself back into a state of liberation and balance within the polarities of the self, the masculine, the feminine, the light and the dark. Then it's perfect, and you can see the darkness out there and everything they're doing. It's perfect, as it allows us to experience. I wrote it in one of the posts today. What would be the point? If it was always light, there'd be nothing to experience. It's the darker shades. The reason you can see me is because of the light retention that is bouncing off the surface of my skin, and with the reflection and retention of light particles in different colours. If there was no darkness, there would just be light. There would be nothing to perceive, nothing to experience at all. The dragon. That's a beautiful question. What's your answer, brother? For myself, there is nothing guarding it. It is simply a time constraint around it. I don't have to battle anything other than myself. If there were any form of demon, negative entity, demonic forces, dragons, I know that that's me. So there's no sense of fear or defiance. Twice this year so far, and for the first time I'd never experienced it, so I've only ever done it twice. I physically purged where I was retching, and this black stuff, I was physically exhaling, releasing this black stuff at the same time as working on releasing an entity, which again I know is part of me, and releasing it is always done with love, returning it to the love, returning it to light. If there is something imprisoned in darkness, at its core it is still light, it is still love. So by releasing it, we're releasing that entity, that element of self, back to the light, back to the love. It's all done with love. It's always love. If you go into anything with hatred in your heart, then you are only growing and feeding into that hatred. For me, it's time. It's literally like walking into a dark room or a dark maze and just blindly almost wandering around. I didn't. I was quite grossed out by it. I was in the shower. I do a lot of my work in the shower, and I didn't expect it. I was purging. I knew what I was doing. I didn't expect to actually bring up physical matter. And after doing so, I washed it all away. It wasn't very pleasant. The truth is, Michael, we're always creating everything. In a computer game, the character may believe themselves to be victimized at certain points. When there's a boss or a level there, they are repressed or controlled or imprisoned. A lot of the time, some form of repression takes place in every film you've ever seen. The character in a computer game may appear or believe itself to be being victimized, but we know better. We know that that experience is exactly what is required in order to be able to continue down the journey. Yeah, the light will always fill the dark. It does. It only takes one candle to illuminate even the darkest of rooms, and no amount of darkness added will extinguish its light. And the more that we go around sparking and inspiring one another, the lighter the world becomes, until the whole world's illuminated and there's nowhere left in darkness. There's nowhere left for the shadow to be able to exist within. Anybody that does do any form of shadow work, purging, I see, I feel you, brother. Yes. Gratitude, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I do it every day, every morning. And I've been recording some of the more poetic versions to do in 100 Days of Gratitude. I'm going to release a little series within the portal, 100 Days of Gratitude. So it will be an inspirational, it's almost an anchor point for people to be able to reflect and to move forwards from. Gratitude is beautiful, amazing. Thank you. Thank you for growing and educating such a inspirational young man, because it's the education and liberation of the children that will create the world of harmony that we are here to experience. I know somebody who's practiced dark magic as well, and he tried to use a spell, a book. He'd never done it before. He's a magician. He tried to do a spell to gain vengeance on somebody, basically. He tried to get vengeance on his wife, and he cast this spell upon her, and the whole house burnt down, with one thing left completely untouched in the ashes, and the smouldering heap of what was their house was the book. No, not touched, not even a scold on it. The ability that we possess to create it far supersedes what we can imagine. Having your son focus on gratitude every day, and then using that frequency of gratitude to overlap anything else that he wishes to experience in life, will mean that he's already grateful for the experience prior to having it. It's done. It's created. He is not suffering. Suffering only exists within the mind. If we don't mind something, there is no form of suffering. And the only reason that you perceive him to be in a state of suffering is because it reflects back to a previous version of yourself. If you see a child, and again, I know this firsthand as well as what I've been shown, anything that we experienced as a child, anytime we see our children experiencing anything even familiar to it, we then think that they're suffering, and we try to take them away from it because it reminds us of our own suffering. Once we do the work in ourselves and accept what took place, knowing that there was no suffering, in the moment, yes, but not afterwards. To suffer is something that is potential to experience, but to continue to suffer is something which is personal in your ability to either let go of or to carry on, to carry with you for as long as you like, until you've had enough and you choose to put it down. Beautiful. Bucket lists are another amazing things. And a manifestation board or window or something like that. So behind me, you can see it on Facebook, on Instagram, that on my wardrobe I've written lots of different things, and then it's there every time I come into the room. It's there. I'm reminded of what it is that I'm focusing my attention on and bringing into the material. On my screensaver on my phone is the Cosmic Surfer slogan logo. It's the same one that's on YouTube. Every time I open my phone, Cosmic Surfer. I'm aligning myself vibrationally, energetically to that which I wish to experience, wish to create. Most people have a picture of their children, and then you're always with your children. You're always thinking of your children, connected to your children. Anything that we connect to material keeps us in the material. Anything we can disassociate and disattach from means that we're able to continue to ascend to new levels of potential, because it's all just potential again. If you can think of it in your mind again, then it's potential to experience. Everything you can see, feel or hear around you was first thought about before it was materialized, before it was created. All up here. It's all in the mind. It's the only place any of it is. Take away the mind, there's nothing. There's just energy vibrating at different frequencies again, which is all there really is. It's the mind with the senses of perception attached to it electrically, interestingly, that then allow us to perceive this to be solid, that to be light, etc., etc. And if we don't mind something, it doesn't matter. So if you don't mind that your son is viewing and experiencing the journey you're taking, then it doesn't matter. It won't matter to him and it won't matter to you. Only if you mind it, and then you lower your vibration to it and you view it as something negative, feeding that negative energy out into your home, that he will pick it up and see it and take it to be negative. What's bad? Really, what is bad? Perfect. Yes, thank you. Bible. Oh, well, I've been asked, and it's right at the very bottom of my list of things to do. My list there's not enough space anywhere to write it down. I've been asked to create a modern day alternative version of to the Bible, to explain everything that's within it in a way that people are able to relate to it, because it's all stories about how to become your greatest self. Bible houses within it a lot of very powerful information, which has been over time slightly doctorated to remove it from the mainstream, to keep it for certain people to benefit from, as opposed to the collective. So upon my journey of connection and realization and awakening, let's say, I focused incredibly, almost to the point of exclusion, to awaken or open my third eye. I did this within about it was less than 2 weeks from the first time I sat down to meditate to having a feeling as though somebody had plugged something into my head, and the tingles and pulses and sensations and the light that I saw within my mind's eye was it's euphoric, really was euphoric. I then spent about another week or so opening my crown and started channeling or inviting in all sorts of light beings, different colors and different frequencies. With the pink one that I met, that was sent to me, I believe, to show me what unconditional love really was. A love that I cannot liken to anything else. I love my children more than life itself. This love was soft. It can't be comprehended to anything. There is no way of expressing it. I just floated around for about a week afterwards. Just somebody would cut me up in traffic and I'd be like, oh, I love you. I love you. Yeah, I love you too. It was absolutely, again, no words. Because I was unaware, because everything I've done has been self-discovery, guidance as well. All of the grounding, all of the cleansing, all of the energy work I do, all of my daily things, it's not things, there's some bits I've incorporated from reading in books, and it's like taking different ingredients from different places. I'll have a bit of that and a bit of that, and I'll mix it all together and create my personal dish that is most in harmony with me, vibrationally, let's say. And each and every one of you listening, don't ever take anybody or anything anyone else says to be true, to be gospel. It's just perspective. It's my truth. If my truth vibes with you, then great. If you can relate, then great. If it doesn't, then perfect. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, anybody who is looking to awaken their third eye, open their third eye, please ensure that you have grounded fully first to this earthly plane and you are protected. Because unknowingly opening myself up, not grounding myself, I open myself up to invite in any and all forms of being that passed by, because I wasn't aware of what I was really doing. So again, that allowed me to, it was like a crash course in light versus dark, in the ability to invite in, to be unknowingly connected to then learn how to remove and to release, and etc., etc. We're always on the path. We're always moving towards that destination. And yes, it is, in my viewpoint, again. So the question, would you relate to God as the universe, and in turn, as us all, as one with God? The little riff, the little poem which came to me again, which I always use, is I am you as you are me. We are all that was or ever shall be. Universal energy, dancing rhythmically, playfully and majestically in this beautiful experience, this beautiful game that we call life. And even scientifically, they, who is we, who's me, who's you, they cannot deny that this is right. It's all energy vibrating at different frequencies. It's all the same energy. It's all the same building blocks. It's all the same self. It's all consciously created. God, the word God was so repressive to me for such a long period of time. I couldn't speak it, let alone entertain it. Source energy, the universe, source energy, not God. Source energy, it is God. We can use the word God. It's an easy word to use. Everyone understands God, the single self, the I, the all-powerful Father. When God the Father exploded into the universal mother, they created all of their diverse children of multicolour. Why not? It's the single self. It's only this. And the truth is that you are not just an element or an aspect or a fragment of God, that you are God. Not that we are all God, that you are. If you can truly embody this, the easiest way to relate it is, again, the game of life. In the game of life, you are character player number one. You have created the game and all the potential levels within it, knowing that you are fated to experience the game you have chosen, that you are playing. Fated within the parameter, mathematically, to infinite. Anything you can create within the mind, you can experience in the physical, within the game. It's your game. You've created it. You know the blueprint to it. You know the secret access codes, the cheat codes, the backdoors. Exactly. And in this game, you have decided to play it, choosing the character that you are, the avatar self, with all of your characteristics that you can level up if you choose to. You can continue to play the game for the rest of your life with the same qualities and attributes to when you were 14. Or you can press pause and level yourself up, learn new information, gain new skill points, new tools, new abilities. Everything in the game is for you, created by you. God is for you, created by you, simply for the experience. There's nothing to complete, there's nothing to win, it's just an experience to be had. In the game, the people that are here to enrich you, to reflect upon you that which you wish to experience, that which you enjoy. You've created me. I'm a character in your game. That's it. And I only exist because you are aware of my existence. It's like a baby closes their eyes and then they open them again. They're like, fuck, you're there. I forgot you existed, because when I closed my eyes, you didn't exist anymore. And then I opened, oh, you exist again. And we just become familiarized to the fact that it exists. Even when we close our eyes, we expect it to be there when we open them, so it is. In the game, you create all the characters. Some of them are just backfill, so that they just look and act accordingly. They'll just have a certain directive that they'll do. You're never going to have any interaction with them. They don't really matter. They're just there to fill up the scenery. And some characters are there to challenge you, to do what is seen as negativity towards you so that you can learn and to grow from it. If you don't learn and grow from it, then you'll just continue that level over and over again until you decide that actually I'm ready to let go, I'm ready to move past, I'm ready to complete the level, to change my tactics or style of approach. Because the truth to it is, if you continue to go in the same direction, being very straight line and masculine, never changing your path, well, you're never going to get a different outcome, are you? Come on. It's all for you, created by you. Yeah. White noise, backfill people. White noise. And again, every single person, if you can know that they are you, there will always be parts of the self that you don't necessarily like very much. And I'm not asking you to like everyone. But what I am saying is that there's always the ability to love, to find a reason, to find space, to find acceptance, to find the ability to feel love. Not to limit that ability. If you are love, say you're a little ball of pink that's floating around, and you come into contact with somebody who is black and negative and repressive, if you then change yourself to be black because you are in contact with somebody who is black, then you feel black and lowered yourself, then you blame them for making you feel lowered and angry and disconnected. Who's actually done anything other than you? You're pink. Why have you changed yourself? If you stay pink, dependent on nothing other than the fact that that's what you are, then that is what you will always be. Don't lower yourself for anybody else. Remember, it's your game. Character player number 1. Archangels. Any form of angel. And again, this is within the most recent podcast. Light versus dark, the final battle. They're all aspects of the self. The reason that the entity God works, if you ask, and this is what I said, and I'll see if I can remember the wording I used, because again, after I actually spoke it, I was like, fucking hell, that's really good, that. So liken praying to God as going to a restaurant. Believing in God means that you pray to God, you ask God for something, and God then answers your prayers. Being spiritual means that you vibrate at that yourself, knowing that you're worthy of it, treating it as though you already have that which you wish to experience, because if you're asking for it, it means you do not have it. So you vibrate as though you are it. Therefore, you attract it from the universe around you to you. It's much more simplistic just to ask God. But when you come to the realization that you are God, then it kind of gets a bit tricky to understand really what it is that's best to do. So, ask God that is you, knowing that you are worthy of it because you already have it, because you are it. If you go to a restaurant to order a meal, you have a look at the menu and you go, I'd like that, whatever it is. I would like to order the whatever your favourite dish is. It's your dish, this is your game, choose accordingly. You ask the waiter, who takes the order to the kitchen. The chef cooks it, and you sit there knowing that you will receive from the menu the dish that you have ordered. And you sit back and relax. You just not wait, but you enjoy your evening with the knowledge that you will receive that which you have asked for. That is God. That's like asking God. You give your order to God, to the waiter, knowing that the waiter will take your order off, prepare the dish with other people involved, other aspects of that same self, and then come and deliver you that beautiful dish. There's nothing you need to do. Being spiritual and knowing that it is you means that then there is all of a sudden an element to, hang on, well, if I'm God and I'm asking God, who's me, then I need to go and make sure that God does what it is I've asked him to do, because that's me. So then you ask the waiter, and then you follow him to the kitchen to make sure that he gives the order into to the chef. And then you sneak into the kitchen and you say to the chef, no, don't do it like that. Don't cut it that way. I want it cut this way. Don't use that. I want 3 grams of that material, 3 ingredient, 3 grams of this, 2 grams of that. And I want it cooked for this long, presented on this plate. And then you're just getting in the way. Getting in the way of the dish being created. Okay? You are the person in the restaurant. You give your order to God, to your higher self, to the universe, knowing you will receive it, because you've gone to the restaurant and you've ordered the meal. You're going to receive it. Only if you then try and interfere with it, or sit there thinking, I want, creating what would otherwise be 20 minutes of enjoyment, sitting and talking to friends or family, into something that is incredibly repressive and frustrating, because all you're focused on is wanting that which you don't want. Steak. Karens. Oh my God, I love the Karens too. Because without the Karens, who would we blame it all on, right? And that's the devil. The devil is there to blame everything on, as God is there to worship and to pray and to thank for everything that is. Again, the angel and the devil, God and the devil, they're not entities sat upon your shoulder whispering into your ear. They are you, and they exist within you. Tony, my brother, how are you? Beautiful. Thank you all. Well, there we go. I was just going to say, I feel it's about time to bring a closure to this evening's beautiful connection. I love doing it with both platforms. It's 2222 here now. 12:21. Beautiful. Thank you. Always. Anybody that wants any form of information, had a lot of requests for meditations recently, because it's going, meditation channel is going incredibly well. It won't be very long until it becomes really mainstream meditation. Anything anybody desires, just ask and it's yours. Do it, brother. Thank you all. Anybody on YouTube, Instagram, I'll continue for a moment. Facebook, I love you all. Peace out. Thank you for who you are and all you continue to do. Thank you for continuing to gain the knowledge, the wisdom, for continuing to look within and doing the work required to bring freedom to not only yourself, but everybody else. As you continue to do the work, as you continue to expand your consciousness and awareness, you continue the expansion and awareness of everybody else, helping others to break free from that limitation and illusion of old. Continue to support me in all I do. Continue to grow the movement and continue to grow yourself.